Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode with Car Rides with Jacob. Today, we're going to be discussing being in the right kind of mentality on how to be a bit more optimistic and how to kind of be in the right mindset to set goals and achieve some of those big things that you want to achieve, right? The way I see it, people tend to operate on different kind of mentalities, right? You've heard of people being kind of like the realist. Those are the people that are very in tune to what their situation is in life. They're very attuned to everything that's around them. There's your optimist. Your optimist is kind of like the person who looks to the future, always sees the bright side of everything, very cheerful, that kind of thing. And then you have the opposite of that, which is kind of like more your pessimistic kind of person, who always kind of sees the kind of like the downside to everything, the bad about everything, kind of like the half glass less, or empty kind of mentality, right? And you always hear about those different kinds of people, but it's not really quite that simple, or at least I don't think it's really quite that simple. And I'll explain, right? It's not as if we live in a world of like yes or no, or just black and white, right? We have so many different kinds of complexities in life, right? So many different struggles, complications, so many different things that we have to deal with on a day-to-day. And I recently actually watched a video by Dan Locke. I watched a lot of his videos, and he was talking about people who are more, these aren't the exact words, but more like realistic opportunists, or they have more of like they are very aware of like where they are in their situations, but they have optimistic perspective on where they want to go with things, right? And it is kind of an important thing to actually kind of find a balance between the two, and I'll explain why, right? If you're a realist, everybody knows that if you're going to achieve or accomplish anything, you got to set goals for yourself, right? Like steps, like general steps to get to where you want to go in life, whether it's you want to make more money, whether you want to be more fit, if you want to be more healthy, whatever it is. You know that you're not going to be able to say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to do that, and then go to sleep and then wake up the next day and all of a sudden you're exactly where you need to be, you're exactly who you need to be, you're healthier, you're more financially stable, or whatever it is, right? So first thing that I guess you need to do is kind of to be honest with yourself and ground yourself in some reality here, right? Take a good look at like where you are in life, how much you're making, right? I know exactly where you are, right? It's like if you're in a new area, right, and you don't know where you're going, what do you have to do, right? You have to go look at a map, right? You ever go to like the malls where you see like the map and you're trying to look for a particular store, right? What's in the center, or like wherever it is, right? You see a little circle that says you are here, right? So you got to get an idea of like where you are in life. And then you want to get an idea of where you want to go, right? You want to be able to define the direction you want to take, where you want to go, where you want to move, where you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You have to have some kind of goal in mind, something that could be obtainable and achievable. And be realistic about it. I mean, you can't just jump from whatever it is you're doing to being like, like somebody who's like a millionaire, or, making 6 figures a year or something like that. You have to take gradual steps to get to those places, right? It's not going to happen overnight. So ground yourself in some realism, figure out where you are in life. Next thing, figure out where you want to go in life, what you want to do next, what you want to achieve. And try not to overwhelm yourself so much. There's so many people that say, man, you know what? I'm going to do it all this year. I'm going to make all of it happen. I'm going to become healthier. I'm going to become fitter. I'm going to become wealthier. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to conquer the world. And so what happens, right? They try to juggle all these new things that they want to do. And, if you ask them sometime later whether or not they've achieved any of those things, probably a good majority of those people who say that will end up achieving nothing, right? Because they try to juggle too many things at once. Try not to do that to yourself. Try to pick one thing that you really want to achieve and make goals to make that happen, whatever that one thing is. And then from there, once it becomes kind of like second nature and habit, then you can kind of go on to the next thing you want to tackle. Okay, you want to make sure that whatever it is you're doing to make that goal happen has become kind of a subconscious thought and action, right? So that way it just becomes natural to you. So when you set up your goals, right, then you want to put yourself in a positive place. So in order to be able to achieve whatever it is you want to do, whether or not you want to be healthier, you want to be more fit, you want to make more money, you got to start believing that it's possible. If you don't believe that it's possible, then it's not going to happen. There's no way, right? I mean, the people that are already where you want to be are no better than you, but yet they're able to achieve it, right? That means that it's possible, and that means that you can do it too, right? So believe that it's possible, believe that you're capable of doing it, and you'll be able to achieve a lot of great things. Okay, and when you do that, you're going to be realistic because you're going to have a good idea of where you are. You're going to be optimistic because you now believe, truly honestly believe, that you're capable of doing what you need to believe or what you need to do. So you're going to be optimistic and you're going to be realistic at the same time. Now, you need to be realistic, you need to set goals, and you need to be optimistic, and you need to push, and you'll be able to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Now, if you don't, right, what happens is, if you're just too realistic, right, and I say if you try to set goals, but you're not excited about what you're doing, you can't get excited about what you're doing, what ends up happening is you become frustrated, you become upset, maybe even you give up, right? And then you start going back in the opposite direction of not being optimistic, but being pessimistic. So before you know it, you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong, right? I'm never going to be able to get the way I want to be. I'm never going to be the fit person I want to be. I'm never going to be the wealthiest person I want to be. And then what happens is you start to go backward, further and further away from your goals. So, like I said before, you got to be realistic. You got to set goals. You got to have an idea of where you want to go, and you got to be optimistic. All right. So try to, put that together. Try to think about that a little bit. I know that was a little general. We'll try to get into that more and more later on as we make more topics about achieving your goals and trying to get into the proper mindset for that kind of thing. All right. So it's been a pleasure, guys. This has been our video for today. If you like our conversations, if you like where they're going, make sure to leave some comments down below if you have any questions, or if you have any ideas of like things you would like to discuss, or whatever it might be. Really, this is all about just kind of having that conversation with you guys, just kind of get something going, get some ideas flowing, right? Okay, everybody. So again, if you like what you're hearing now, make sure to subscribe. There's a subscription button somewhere down here, below your screen, underneath the video here. And then after you do that, you're going to want to hit the bell so that way you're notified every time I make my next video and post my next video, okay? All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Ciao for now.